Okay, so I'm gonna try and put together a little craft with some of the junk around my house. So I've got some cardboard, some newspaper, and I've got this little foam ring. So I'm gonna get creative and I'll show you what I come up with. So I started off by getting my newspaper and cutting it into little rectangles like this. And then I've gone onto my computer and found a website that has all the flags of the world. I'm going to take my Sharpies and I'm going to start drawing some flags on these little rectangles. Okay, so I've got my flags and I might have to do a few more, but we'll see how we get on with these ones. Okay, so I didn't have any glue in the house, so what I've done is I've got a little bit of flour and a little bit of water, and I'm just going to mix it together. And if I need a little bit, I might need a little bit more flour. Put a little bit more flour in, and it should make a little bit of a paste, which might not be as sticky as like PVA. But it will do for a bit of glue if you don't have any. Ooh, look, we're getting messy. So what I'm going to do is I've got my lovely variety of flags, and I've cut a heart out of that cardboard box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paste that I've just made, I'm going to paste it on here, and I'm going to stick the little flags to it, and then I'll cut off any of the edges that pop around the sides. And then I'm going to do that a few times with a few different sizes, and then I'm going to get this involved. So I'm just going to leave these to dry for a little bit before I cut them. And I'm just going to pop a lid on top of my glue and pop it in the fridge so I can use it another day. I think it'll last a couple of days. So they're not quite dry yet, but I'm not very patient, so I'm going to carry on. So what I've done is I took my little hoop and I put some thread through it. So that needed a needle. So if you are doing something similar, you'll need to be really careful. But what you could also do is take your cardboard and cut a ring out of it, and then you can tie string off of it to hang these off. But I'm gonna go for this because waste not, want not. So there it is, my heart. It's spinning a little bit. Let's turn it back around. Oh, there it is, suspended from my little hoop. So you can see I just put it together here. I did a little hole with a needle, and then I put the string through. You could do it with a pen, pencil and some string, and then I hung it off of my little hoop. I hung it off the middle. There you go. So now I'm going to add my other two on. So here it is. Ended up sticking some more newspaper to the back because it spins around loads, and I thought I would write something nice on it. So I stuck some paper onto the back, and it says "Love my neighbour" with all these flags. I'm going to stick it up in my house, and it'll be a nice reminder of what God calls us to do. To love each other. Not just the people who live next door, live on our street or in our country, but to love all of our neighbours all over the world. So why don't you give it a go, or have a look at my Pinterest board and see if there's something else you'd like to do.